or what's my feeling.
What's your perspective on the function of religion?
Right, yeah. My perspective on the function of religion, honestly, I think that religion is just a means of creating a systems of ethics and morality. Like, I mean, okay, so that's, I think, the function of religion in the greater sense of society. I feel like individually, religion forms or serves the purpose of like a de-stressor, or like a peacemaker. You know, it like allows people to find solace internally. But I mean, I don't know if that's really answering your question.
It does. So what's your connection with spirituality?
That's a really big question. Like, I'm not sure like which.
Okay, basically what I'm trying to get at is, what is your take on the relationship religion, any type of religion, has with spirituality?
Honestly, I feel like I view spirituality as like the HTML code, and then religion is like a friendly UX interface. You know what I mean? That makes people like interact with concepts like in an easier way. But it's all fundamentally like rooted in the same thing. It's just different interfaces.
That's beautiful.
No, but honestly, like, just a lot of the principles and like underlying foundation, they're the same. So because of that, I low-key see religion as like unnecessary, but I also understand why it exists. Because since not everybody is the same personality type, synthesizes information in the same way, it makes sense to present the information in different ways. Like, there's some things that you've said before. I wish I could remember the exact example, but it was just like, oh yeah, I was asking you about like why you pray if you don't consider yourself to be very like super Christian, right? And if you're only using it in these times of like when you're desperately seeking an answer, solution, an outcome, I'm like, why wouldn't you just use manifestation? Because you also like believe in that concept, right? And so it's just like, I don't understand why you're still holding on to this concept of a religion that you identify so closely with, when throughout your day-to-day and most of your day, most of your life, it doesn't seem as if you're like super interconnected with it. But then I also know or perceive religion to play an important role in maintaining and building community. I mean, I felt that like super intensely back in my days. Like, that was one of my lifelines, I guess you could say. Why'd you ask?
It was just something on my mind.
Randomly?
Yeah.
It was just so out of pocket. Like, we were literally just talking about jobs. And you're like, what's your take on religion? Like,
it just popped up and I couldn't.
Did you ask that because maybe somewhere subconsciously those two topics connected?
That would make for a great segue, but that wasn't the that wasn't the thought behind it.
Yeah.
But as I stated previously, like, from my perception in terms of religion, for one, I do believe that there is an omnipotent governing body. I think that many people resort to particular religions because, for one, it's ethnically ingrained, culturally ingrained, and that cultural tie is strengthened by the imagery that is commonly present within a particular religion. We assign symbols and human figures because we're connected to our human form. Like, oh, this happened. It's similar to the whole notion of like parables. These stories many times are taken literally, but essentially they're a narrative to supplement a moral value. And they're in the form of a narrative because it has an increased susceptibility of connecting with the reader. And that I think that's the case for, you know, any form of religion. I identify with their human form.
But not all religions have or incorporate human form.
Yeah, but any type of symbolism that I think every religion that is ethnically based has some type of cultural tie to it. To whatever.
That was so cheating what you just said. Like any type of ethnic based cultural tie. Like clearly the ethnic base is already a cultural
symbolism.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. You want some?